Hello everyone, Sabelo speaking here. So in this video here, I'll be going through the losses that I took last week, and also I'll be showing you the trades that I'm still looking at for the week ahead. Okay, so let's go here into this VIP Telegram channel here. So these were the trades that I took. Most of them, there was a loss here. The market came back into my break even, and then I was kicked out with these small profits. And then NZD I mean NOK JPY, even gold, I closed gold 280 because I was afraid of the news. Most of these pairs or most of these trades were affected by the US dollar FOMC and US dollar interest rates that always comes on Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, but in most cases they come on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. South African time. So those were the losses that I took last week, in the middle of the week, and these were the trades. I was expecting to see the gold dropping, but I've seen that the gold started by shooting up, spiking, and then now it's down, but the direction was correct. The only thing that kicked me out is the news. Because I was aware that if the news comes, we may see a change of direction. So when I saw a spike and then I closed here, and then all of a sudden I've seen a massive drop. So I've ended up making a small loss on gold. Same thing here. Here I took the full loss, the full 2%, because I was not expecting to see a push. But all of a sudden, and then I saw the market kicking me out, and then another trade here, Euro USD. This one I closed it 280, because I've seen so many rejections, but now the market is down. I closed 280 because of the news as well. Let's see the other one. USD CAD. This is the one that went up and then came to my break even, because that was my first TP and this was my second TP. And then when the market was here, and then I moved my stop loss above break even, then market came back, kicked me out, and then I've made a small profit. USD Mexican peso, the market started by going up and then came back, make a spike during the news, and then now the market is up. So it's very difficult to trade when you are approaching the FOMC meeting minutes in these days, because they really change the direction of the market. Sometimes they spike both sides, only to find that the market is going to be choppy, and then spike up and then spike down again, and then continue being choppy. So whenever you are in a trade, you're most likely to be kicked out. So that's why I decided to close when I saw that I was in a loss. So those were the trades that I was looking at in the middle of the week. And then I also took trades, the recent ones, NZD USD, NZD CAD, and GBP Swiss. So these are the last trade that I took after I've made 400 losses. 400 US dollar losses. And then I was able to make a recovery out of that. But I'm still holding most of these except the NZD CAD. So let's go and look at the trades that I'm still holding, and look at the trades that I'm still forecasting. Okay, so let's go to the H4. Let's start on the first one here. All right, here I'm expecting a major pullback. Maybe, I'm not sure if it's supposed to come here, but this is not a perfect setup for me, unless if the market goes up come to this zone and then come back to pull back to this zone here. Then I'll be expecting a low of the day, W pattern, and then I'll be looking for a buy. Okay, I'll be looking for a buy. Why I'm so interested in this one? If it goes up, like this, then a reversal. It's because looking at my correlation numbers. So these are my correlation numbers here. Currently, we see that the JPY is still losing momentum. So once we see the Euro JPY going up, that means the Euro is supposed to be maybe going back to the positive group. Then we're going to be trading a strong pair with a weak pair. So that's going to be a very nice separation of those two currencies. Then I'll be placing my trades, once I see a breakout. Okay, Euro USD. I was looking at this trade, but I didn't take it. Because the market was coming closely to this support zone, but the setup was better because this downward trend was new. Okay, GBP Swiss, I'm still holding on this trade. The reason of taking the trade is that GBP was flat with -3. -3 is a little bit selling, and then the Swiss was also trying to go up with +4. And then, if you pair a weak currency and a strong currency, you are going to find a clear trend. In this case, I was expecting a clear downtrend because the GBP is a base currency, and then this one is a code currency. And that's why I'm still holding. Hopefully the market's supposed to come here, and then TP1 is supposed to be hit, and then TP2 is going to be there. Okay, and this was also lining up with the FIB level. See this FIB from swing high to swing low, then we came here 50% zone. This 50% is also lining up with the previous resistance, previous support, and then we saw a very nice setup there. And this was a high of the day, this one here, followed by some rejections, and then that's why I took a sell. Okay, gold, as I was saying, that I have given a setup for gold for a sell, but I ended up closing here with a small loss here. I took my loss here. Why I took a loss? Because I've seen the market spiking down and then spiking back up, and then I thought the market is going to continue going up, because in most cases when the news comes, if you are looking at the 1 minute, especially if you are trading the high impact news like NFP, whenever the news start by spiking down and then go up, it will never go back down. So, but in this case, we saw a spike down and then a spike up, and then the market proceeded with a downtrend. So this was new to me to see a pattern like this during the news. It was a new thing to me. Okay, that's why I ended up closing with a small loss. So I didn't take, this big sell move. But once we see a breakout, breaking these zones, breaking the previous support here, break, come to retest, and then we may see a continuation as long as the US dollar pairs are buying based on our correlation numbers here. The US dollar is buying with +4, which is much better. That's why I'm still looking for a sell on gold. Okay, NZD USD, I took a sell. Why? It's because I took a sell on Friday. I took a sell on Friday because the NZD was trying to be weak with -3, and then the US dollar was also trying to be strong with +3. So if we are looking at the current situation of the sentimental analysis, you can see that the market is telling us to hold our trade because the NZD is now sitting at -5 and then the US dollar is now positive with +4. So this thing is going to continue selling, guys. It's going to continue selling, selling. Okay. USD SGD, it was a nice setup, but I didn't take it because when the market was here, I've seen that the US dollar was sitting at minus, it was +3 to be specific. So I didn't take that setup for that reason. Same thing with the USD CNH. So the ones that were nice is this one here. NZD, I even gave out the signal. NZD for a sell. And then the market is currently melting. Boom. Okay, this is a new setup that I'm looking at. AUDJPY. Let's look at the direction of the sentiment. AUDJPY. So by next week, I'll be expecting the AUD to be here in the positive group, while the JPY, I'm expecting to see the JPY remaining here because this downtrend on JPY is new. Okay, it's new. Previously the JPY was neutral, JPY was neutral, JPY was neutral. So that's why I'm still waiting for. I'm still expecting to see the JPY staying in the weak category. So whenever the market comes down to make a double bottom here, then that's when I'll be looking for a buy. This is the first bottom, and then I'll be expecting the second one because I cannot just buy here. Wait for the market to make a clear W, and then I'll be looking for a buy. NZD JPY. Okay, this is a perfect example of a bad setup. Okay, based on the technicals, this is a good setup. Very good one. Breaks, come to retest. This is some sort of a head and shoulder pattern, and then this is going to be the low of the day, and then most of the people are going to be buying. But the problem is the correlation numbers. NZD and JPY are still in the same group. Both of them, they are weak, meaning that they are having same power. Both of them, they are losing the momentum, and then I'm expecting a choppy movement. Maybe it can break even to the downside. I'm not sure, but I'm not expecting a trend here. Look, both of them, they are weak. Anything can happen. Anything can happen there. I'm not going to place any trade until I see a clear separation. The other currency is supposed to go to the strong group, or the other one supposed to remain in the weak group. Yeah, so Swiss SGD, it was a perfect setup, but I didn't get a nice entry because the Swiss was still in the neutral group when the market was here. In this low of the day, I've seen that the market is still neutral on the Swiss. Let's confirm it. Okay, it was the 23rd of September. Let's check it. 23rd of September. As you can see, guys, the Swiss franc was still -1. So that's why I didn't take a buy. But if the market, let's assume the market was here, the Swiss was here, I could have taken a buy. Because that means the Swiss franc overall is bullish. All right. So, but now if we see a breakout, come to retest low of the day, double bottom, and then I'll be looking for a buy because now the Swiss franc is positive with +4. Okay, I think that's it for now, guys. These are the setup that I'm still looking at. I don't just look at all of them because they are not giving me good setups today. Yeah, that's it from me. I'm signing out.